Hey everyone, it's Midnight Spectre, and today I'm going to share a story about one of the biggest mistakes I made on the job. So remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get on to the video. So I've worked a ton of different jobs, especially trying to find a niche where I don't feel like I'm working a standard job. I'd actually been out of the job market for a while because I was doing home health care for my grandmother until she passed. So I was looking for a job that was in my field, which is technology. However, I never graduated college, so it was doubly as hard for me to find a tech job because it's an oversaturated market, and I'm sure once they look into me and realize I never graduated, they ghost me. However, I found a job posting for a company that was installing smart home stuff in people's houses. I went through the job application process and interview process, and I figured, well, this seems pretty simple. I would just go into people's houses and connect some tacky stuff to their Wi-Fi network and I would go home. Oh, how wrong I was. This place is a lot more involved than I thought it was. We'd have to go into houses that were in the process of being built and running Ethernet cable through the walls, which would be fine if we were doing this during the summer or maybe even during the fall or spring. But however, we were doing this during the winter, and winters in the Midwest can be really bitter and cold. I remember we were doing an install in the house and I was working in the basement, and I had bundled up really well, but it was bitterly cold within 15 minutes, and on top of that my lunch and the work van had froze. If I had drove myself there, I probably would have just drove home and not answered my phone and start looking for other jobs. However, I did make it through that day. However, they wanted to branch out into doing more involved stuff, which led up to my biggest mistake. There was a business that had like a place across the street from their main building, and they needed to extend their Wi-Fi network to be across the street. And they contact us and install this thing that extends their Wi-Fi network. Now, I've never been good with networking, even with home networking. All I know is how to plug the Ethernet cable into a router or a computer, and that's about it. Well, I worked at getting this thing working for maybe 3 or 4 hours, and I finally confirmed network connectivity, and I figured, well, job well done. Well, flash forward to a couple weeks later, and I knew something was wrong when the co-owner was running around looking absolutely frustrated. Come to find out, yes, it was indeed connected, but it was broadcasting an unsecure Wi-Fi network all across the town we were working in, and to make matters worse, it was on the point-of-sale system. So that was a huge security concern, and understandably I was let go. However, I wasn't too broken up about it since I was already thinking about quitting anyway, because I was doing a lot of busy work most of the time in the office, and I was tasked with organizing their paperwork, and I'd open up a file cabinet that had a drawer that was as wide as my wingspan, and it was full of folders of terminated employees, so I knew I wasn't much longer for that place anyway. So yeah, that's the story of one of my biggest mistakes on the job. For months afterwards, I was on pins and needles waiting to get a subpoena in the mail and be dragged through civil court for damages. I mean, I know businesses have insurance for that type of stuff, but I'm not sure if the contract I signed had some sort of hidden clause or something that ended up making me liable for everything. So, I hope everyone enjoyed this week's video, and please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for next week's video. See ya!